Hey everyone, you're watching CrowdSignal. My name is Victor Chu, and today we're looking at RocketBook on IndieGoGo. RocketBook is a method for moving your handwritten notes onto the web, and it does this using 4 different parts. The first is a RocketBook notebook, the second a Pilot Flexion pen, the RocketBook application, and fourth is a microwave. How this works is you write in the RocketBook using the Flexion pen, and once you're done, flip through each page with the RocketBook app, which takes pictures of your notes as you go, and uploads it to the place that you mark at the bottom of the page. Once you've exhausted the 50 or so pages, you can microwave the notebook, which clears the thermochromic ink, effectively erasing the notebook in about 30 or so seconds. And you can do this up to about 25 times. 22 days into their campaign, RocketBook has managed to raise about $400,000 across 11,000 investors. Now usually here on CrowdSignal we'll go deep into the technology or the founders, but I think there's a much bigger question that not many people are talking about, which is this isn't how you use notebooks. Most people use notebooks for 2 different purposes. One is either brainstorming or logging information. If you're brainstorming, 95% of what you write is usually not all that helpful. In some cases, you may not want that information anyway. What you usually want to take away is just the end product and kind of pretend that the rest didn't really happen. If I'm using a RocketBook for brainstorming, I'm going to start capturing a lot of information that I don't actually need, and it's just going to add to the list of things that I need to prune out later. I'm much more likely to use an app that I already have, like Evernote or my native camera app. And that allows me to work with any type of content, not just the notebook, and it allows me to categorize it exactly where I want it. In Evernote's case, it may just go into a notebook that I've already configured for that purpose. The second use is logging, and that includes things like taking notes for work or for school or for journaling. If you already decided to use a physical notebook over a digital tablet or maybe a laptop or a computer, then there's probably a good reason for doing so. Maybe it's just easier to work with in physical form. Maybe it's easier to reference things or go back and forth. Maybe it's impossible or inappropriate for you to be using technology wherever you are taking these notes. Either way, yes, these are good reasons for using a hardbound notebook, but they're also good reasons for not using a RocketBook. And on top of that, it's just another thing that you have to think about. You have to use a specific type of pen or your notebook is ruined. You have to have another app on your phone. You have to be diligent about clearing your notebook before the last page. And in order to do so, you also have to be diligent about cleaning your microwave. I'm just saying, not all workplace microwaves are all that clean. The use cases where these limitations make sense are fairly few and far between. You're better off using your $25 to buy a top-of-the-line hardbound notebook like this Licterm 1917, and that allows you to use any writing instrument you want. If you're a fan of erasable pens, you can pick up that Pilot Flexion pen on Amazon. You can use that in any notebook of your choice, and that whole nuke to clear feature is something that you can use in any notebook as long as it's not metal. For any of the reasons that you would use a notebook in the first place, using a RocketBook just seems like more work. I love the idea of upgrading our old technology, but it has to be better, it has to be faster, it has to be more convenient than what we currently have. RocketBook seems like a cobbled together solution that gives you a little more functionality, but for a lot more headache. So CrowdSignal says, pass. You've been watching CrowdSignal, due diligence for investors like you. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.